Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Tech Tip Tuesday. Thanks for joining us today. Today, Howard is going to be talking about some advanced disaster recovery topics. We've covered some disaster recovery topics in the past, but as I'm sure you're all aware and will agree, disaster recovery is a very important thing for all of us. So we want to make sure you're utilizing your VPSA to its full capacity to make sure you get the best DR capabilities that we offer. If anyone has any questions throughout, please refer to the GoToWebinar control panel and the questions drop down where you can type a question. And if it's really relevant at the demo on hand, I'll make sure I get an answer from Howard right away. If not, we'll definitely answer it by the end of the episode today. So please feel free to answer any questions there, and we'll get started.
Well, hello everyone. This is Howard. I'm a solutions architect at Zodaro Storage, and last week we had to cancel our Tech Tip Tuesday because guess what? My computer died, and luckily I did have some backups, and a lot of our stuff is cloud-based, with Google Drive and OneDrive for Microsoft. So that stuff's backed up, but even if you happen to use those products, you can lose a file once in a while, so you need to back up those too. So today, what we want to talk about is some advanced DR topics, and just to give you some of our capabilities that we provide built into the VPSA is that we have 4 different ways to back up and restore the data. So everything is going to be snapshot based. So what we do is we have built into the product, it's all snapshot, redirect on write. It's also known as copy on write, but what we do is it's a redirection. So if you have snapshots enabled on your volume, what happens is when there's a new snapshot is generated, you have a new virtual pointer table that is basically created for you, and then any new data that is written goes into a different set of blocks. So it's very efficient, and this is something that we worked on many years ago on this type of capability, and we brought forward into our product. So this is pre-Zodaro, but it's the same type of technology that gives you a very quick, efficient snapshot. And another thing you keep in mind that you can do mirroring to local drives or to your VPSA. So if you have a volume that you need to back up to just to have locally for quick recovery, you can add another set of drives, create a pool, and mirror it locally to the VPSA. So that gives you additional redundancy, so that now you have data on 2 sets of drives. So you have the durability, for example, of RAID 1. Now you can have a copy on another set of drives that gives you the capability to have another copy on a RAID set. We also support and also you could do the mirroring to a local VPSA. So it's sort of like having another set of drives, but it could be within the same data center or in the common region. So, for example, we in AWS in the East Coast, we have two clouds there. They're in completely different data centers. So one's in DC5 and one's in DC2. So if you have a VPSA in DC2, you can do a mirroring into DC5, and that'll give you the capability to have within the same region, AWS region, you can have a mirroring and then have connections, or you can have additional direct connects into that, so from both data centers. So that gives you the capability within the same availability zones and same AWS region. And of course, you can also do remote mirroring in the case if you wanted to do from East Coast to the West Coast. You can do something, from Ashburn to Oregon, or Ashburn to Northern California. Now, we had a couple questions about remote mirroring, And we had actually it's a APAC type of customer, Asia Pacific, and they actually want to do dual mirroring to two different VPSAs, and I'll show you how to do that today. So they're sort of in an area where if there's a tsunami from an earthquake, and you remember back about 10 years ago we had a tsunami that affected the whole area, they want to be able to have data in multiple spots and a DR instead of just like where they are in Taiwan and then and Singapore and elsewhere. So they want to have multiple ways to do a DR. So I'll show you that briefly. Now the fourth capability is we have backup to S3, and this of course is my favorite of all of the DRs, because you can actually come up and do restoration out of any S3 region into another location, and with our zero copy clones, or basically you can mount volume out of S3, and then you can come up and run right away. So if you just need data, it'll just page data in. It'll work really fast. And of course, these are all included in the enterprise suite. Now there are some fees if we have to go outside of our network. So if you do any mirroring across from region to region and you're using our network, there's a 2 cents per gigabyte charge. And also if you do a backup to S3, there's also a protection charge, which is based on the size of the volume that we protect. Now, if you're doing a backup to, instead of S3, if you're doing to our Zios product, then there's no protection charge. So in that case, you're buying the storage for both. So keep that in mind if you decide to go with Zios in the cloud. I think we offer a comparable product. That's we give you three-way protection in AWS currently. That as what we have. Now, let me show you a quick demo here. See if I'm working with a new, because my laptop crashed. I went to a Mac, sort of Windows based, but I think I figured this out. So here I have a couple of VPSAs here. This is in the East Coast here, and I have this. I got a tunnel here through SSH. If you recall, if you ever did an onboarding with us, everything is done through the front end. So here I have already discovered an Oregon cloud, and of course this is going to be in this one. And so for example, the customer, they wanted to have a volume here, and they want to have it mirrored a couple places. So let me show you how to set that up. And basically, let's go over here, mirroring, and create a mirror. So what we'll do is we'll create a mirror called volume 1, and then we'll give it a destination volume here, and we'll call it, and then we'll specify where it's going to go. Now, if you recall, well, here it goes. We specify the volume first, and then what we'll do is select where it's going to go. So remember, if you wanted to do it locally to another set of drives, we could do it local. But here we want to do a remote to the East Coast, and then this is going to be the pool where we're gonna store the data. Now that we have different types of mirroring policies, whenever you do mirroring, I would always add this on-demand policy. It's very beneficial because you can do it on-demand at any time, and it'll trigger a mirror. So if you're doing like a migration, what you'll do is you'll do like the hourly type of thing, and then bring it down to 10, every 10 minutes, and then on-demand is the last one you do. But this works really good with scripts if you do any type of snapshots, and then it'll allow you to do, anytime you need to do a mirror or copy your data across to the mirror side, you can do it on demand, and it's a very powerful tool, or actually policy. So here I'll create mirror 1, and then what will happen is go ahead and do that. And let's create a second one. This is going to be the second case where they do a volume 1, but we're going to go mirror 2. Same thing. Okay, so right now there's no RPO. This guy's syncing here. And then if you look over on, let's go back. And then if you go over here on the mirror side, we have 2 synchronization. This guy's not synchronized yet. And it takes a second here. You can always look and see what's going on if there's any data going through. But now if you wanted to create any type of on-demand, let me show you how to do that. So let's create a snapshot. And we'll just call, let's say it. And what it'll do is it'll create a snapshot for that. And let's go back over here to the mirroring. And there's a snapshot over here. And see how they're all synchronized now at the same time. So you have the same data that's going to be synchronized at the same point in time. And this will just go. There's just 2 copies here. And here you go. Here's the same snapshot. The initial snapshot could be the same or different. So this is going to be the baseline, the 1C, and this is a 1D because it's created later. But the data is going to be the same point of time at the on-demand backup. So that gives you the capability to distribute the data to multiple mirrors. The destination VPSAs, like I said, could be different. So that in this demo here, it's going to be the same VPSA, and basically you could be different locations. Now, when you break the mirror, what will happen is the destination side will be created. So here there should be a mirror 1 volume created on this east. If I break it here, now you can break it from any location. So for example, if you want to break it from your source, it'll create a volume on the destination side, or you can do it from the destination side. So we could do a break here, and it'll show up over here. Now the reason why you can do it from both sides is that if your source side is down, you want to be able to go on the destination side to create it. So it works either way, and it's always going to be stored in the destination volume. So there should be a volume down here. That was created. So this is the mirror that we just created. It's available. And of course, if we go back over to here, if we break it from the source side, it will show up over here on the destination. So there should be another mirror. So you have both. And if you look at the data, this is the snapshot, the latest snapshot of it. And they're all synchronized at the same time. And that's how you do a distribution across multiple VPSAs. And then, they could be at different locations in the world. They could be in the same data center, or anywhere there's a endpoint where there's another VPSA. So that's how we would solve that use case or scenario where a customer wants to have data distributed worldwide with a common or a single source and the same point in time. So, Christy, are there any questions on this so far?
I don't see any coming in. If anyone has any questions, please let us know in the questions panel. We'll be happy to answer them for you. That was really awesome, though, Howard. Thanks for sharing. Um, Additionally, if you have specific questions about your instance that you want to take offline with Howard, he can be reached via email, howard@zadarastorage.com. He's also on Twitter at Howard Y and tweets, blogs and other technical advice that can be applicable to you and your Zadara storage cloud. So give him a follow there if you're on social media. And yeah, if you have any questions, please let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you next week.